was new commissioner, first commissioner for international partnerships in the European Union, traveling to Africa with my dear President of the Commission, Ursula von der Leyen. And it was our 6th day in the office. And she wanted to travel to Africa in the beginning of her mandate. And I had a privilege to accompany her. The joint vision for 2030, adopted by our leaders at the AU-EU summit in 2022, aims to build a prosperous Africa and Europe. So from my perspective, actually, that joint vision is very ambitious, but it's also very comprehensive, and it's of course very much aligned with your Africa 2063 agenda, as well as our EU political priorities.
As we gather as AU and EU in a partnership framed around a sustainable and prosperous Africa and European Union, framed around again, the two agendas, the SDG, Agenda 2063, but implemented in Africa through one plan. We are reflecting on the progress that we have made since the last summit, the 6th EU summit, to see how well we have come good on our commitments that were made there. And overall, we trust and believe we are well on track towards meeting the commitments that were made in the 6th EU summit. So this meeting here is about presenting a joint report that has been prepared by the EU and Africa Union Development Agency and Africa Union Commission to say what are the lessons we've learned and how do we progress further over the next 2 or 3 years going forward. We trust that midway through the journey, we are definitely on track. We have seen progress in infrastructure, we have seen progress in sustainable energy, we have seen progress around the flagship projects of Agenda 2063. For example, the Single Africa Transport Mechanism, the issues around the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, but as well as areas, for example, around sustainable management of energy resources in Africa. We are quite happy with the progress that we've made.
Okay, this presentation was about the progress that we achieved since the summit African Union European Union of 2022 on the prosperity chapter of the Joint Vision 2030, and is I would say a report that would like to acknowledge the progress that on both sides, African Union and European Union, we together made in achieving the commitment that were undertaken at that summit.
The EU's long-standing support in favor of a stronger role of Africa in multilateral fora, be it at the G20 or in the international financial architecture, and we are pleased to see some real progress on those fronts. The joint vision for 2030 adopted at the last AU-EU summit in Brussels in February 2022 remains fully relevant. Commissioner Urpilainen launched during a visit to Addis Ababa, such as the first high-level dialogue on economic integration and trade, and the launch of the AU-EU Youth Lab, which is a flagship program to promote youth participation in decision-making and to support promising and innovative youth-led initiative in Africa, as well as the signature of an agreement between the European Union and the African Union Commission to promote greater collaboration and staff exchange between Addis and Brussels, reflects how the partnership is growing.
So definitely I think that we are on track. The report is not exhaustive, it's not an accounting exercise, but I think that provides meaningful example of the progress that have been achieved in the 11 priority areas of the Prosperity Africa-Europe investment package global gateway, where we have, I would say, we are covering more or less everything that could be covered, including the social dimension through the support that we provided to health and to education.
The dialogue allows the two institutions to share experiences on matters pertaining to trade, investment, regional value chains, and industrial development, among other issues. It also allows us to identify priority areas for cooperation to strengthen our partnership. It gives political guidelines for our further work on technical level, since the EU has already been supporting the process of economic integration on the African continent for a long time, but so far we are lacking this political dimension, which we hope will steer further work, identify priorities for cooperation especially, allow us to see what is the most important areas for both sides, and also allow us to learn from each other on our respective experiences on economic integration and trade.
Well, the EU Youth Lab is a global initiative between a plug-in initiative by the AU and the EU. It's built on three pillars, the first one being participation of youth in policy-making decisions, the second being capacity building and training for youth-led initiatives, and the third also being financial assistance and grant giving to youth-led initiatives. It's a 4-year project that started on the 1st of January 2024. Within the Global Gateway Initiative, also feeding into the Africa 2063 initiative. So this particular event is the launch of the AU EU Youth Lab. The two lots being the youth voices and the youth action that make up the AU EU Youth Lab have got a youth advisory board of 10 members each. We have them in-house with us, and they had a whole day conference today when they were discussing how best we can make the AU EU Youth Lab a success. And this is, also came in handy that the Commissioner could be here to launch the project for us.
For me, it was really important to prepare this report, which we are launching today, in order to showcase that actually we have been able to walk the talk.